And I don't know about you guys, but the biggest travesty that I feel like we see nowadays is like just being so disconnected from the beautiful things that are already happening in our life. And that's what pressure does. Like you can be so wrapped up in, I have to do this thing, or there's so much pressure for me to make money in a certain way, that you block out the rest of the possibilities or the rest of the things that are happening in your life. Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alignment Adventures. I'm so grateful that you're here, but also so sad at the same time because I was just recording this episode. I was in the flow. I was feeling it. I went to check all my things and I wasn't recording the sound. I was recording the video, but not the sound. It happens to us all. Such is life. I'm taking it as a sign from the universe that I needed to do it again. And maybe I didn't say something I was supposed to say to one of you, or maybe my energy will be even better this time. We're not going to put like perfectionist energy on it, like I mentioned last time so many times, but we're going to try here again. And thank you for being here with me. And we all make mistakes, and that's okay. But today I want to talk about something that, of course, is coming up in my life, and it has to do with my one and only intention for this year, and that is no pressure, releasing pressure. My only intention for 2025 was no pressure. So I just want to talk about pressure today, how sometimes it can be something that motivates us and that helps us live our most aligning, fulfilling, and present life. But also it can be something that really holds us back and really disconnects us from our intuition, our internal guidance, and our creativity, our life force energy. So let's dive into that a little bit more today. So like I mentioned, that is my only mantra for this year is no pressure, because I feel like that is just like the headspace that I was in going into 2025. I was like, I can't even imagine what life is going to be like this year. I just want to enjoy it. I want to do the things I love. No pressure. Like I don't have a reading goal. I don't have like a goal for the podcast. I don't even have a goal for life, really, besides having a healthy pregnancy, which I'm so grateful that I am. If you tuned into last week's episode, thank you for listening to my life updates. All of my episodes are not going to be like that, but I just feel so connected to you guys and I want to keep you updated. And obviously, all of my inspiration comes from my life. So like when I am going through something big, I want to share it with all of you. And like I said before, I want to hear what's going on in your life. So if you didn't tell me what's going on in your life in the comments before, do it on this video. So let's talk about pressure. Like I said, pressure can be a beautiful thing sometimes. The metaphor that comes to my mind, and I should have done more research on this, my science teacher mind is like, you should have looked up the facts, but just stay with me here. Let's think about a diamond, right? I'm pretty sure diamonds are made from coal. Fact check me if you want. And it takes millions of years and lots of pressure to turn coal into diamonds. So again, that's a metaphor, but it makes me think of how pressure can be a catalyst to form beautiful things in our life. Like sometimes you just need that like kick in the pants, a little bit of pressure to actually take action, actually go and do something. Or you need just a little bit of pressure to look at something a little bit more closely in your life. Like look at it with an analytical life. Like, is this serving me? Is this not? So pressure can be a beautiful thing, but it also has a dark side. Like everything in life, it can have a light side and a dark side. The dark side is that it can disconnect you from your own inner voice, from your own intuition, your internal guidance, your creativity. And we can really have all these societal pressures. That's what it makes me think of. But there are many different types of pressures that just make you feel like you're not where you should be in your life, or you're not doing what you came here to do, or you should be in a different spot, or you should be doing this. We all know how I feel about the word should. That is such a yucky word in my opinion. So like always, I just am here to help you bring some intentionality, some awareness to the pressure that you may be putting on your own life, and see how it's affecting you in your own alignment journey, because anything that's holding us back, we can release. We do not have to keep holding on to it. We do not have to keep feeling that way. And it may keep coming up. That's okay. We can consciously choose a different way. I know that a common pressure that a lot of us experience is that we don't have something that we feel like we need, or we should be in a different spot. And we feel all this pressure, maybe from society, like we talked about, or from family members, or just external factors, or maybe just yourself, internal pressure, right? That you're putting on yourself to accomplish a certain thing or be at a certain spot, whatever it may be. I really want you to examine, like, do you actually need that thing right now? Do you need to be in that spot right now? Because I would be so surprised to hear, and you should tell me in the comments what you find out from your own curiosities. Like, do you actually need that thing right now? Or is it something that you just think you need? Because like I said before, that pressure to do this, do that, find the partner, find the house, find the perfect job, blah, 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 blah. There's always something that we could be working towards more, which again, isn't an awful thing. It's beautiful to have goals, but that pressure, I don't know about you guys, but when I put pressure on things that I love to do, like all desire and passion is just like gone from doing that thing. I mention in every single episode how important it is to do the things that you love. I even had a whole episode about it a few episodes back. I don't remember which one, about fueling your own soul, fueling your own fire, and following your passions is how you do that. But I know for a lot of people, like, you find this hobby, you find this thing that you love doing, and then you start doing it, and then comes the pressure to make it into a career, or the pressure of, this new relationship to like get married and do the next step, and blah, 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 pressure. There's always pressure that can be found and placed on us, either consciously or unconsciously. And it just like takes the fun out of the thing. And I don't know about you guys, but the biggest travesty that I feel like we see nowadays is like just being so disconnected from the beautiful things that are already happening in our life. And that's what pressure does. Like, you can be so wrapped up in, I have to do this thing, or there's so much pressure for me to make money in a certain way, that you block out the rest of the possibilities, or the rest of the things that are happening in your life. An example for me is abundance. Like, I was putting so much pressure on myself that like, I have to make this podcast a career, because I can't be a stay-at-home mom forever. My kids are going to grow up, and you guys know how I feel about the title stay-at-home mom. I won't get into that now, but I just was putting pressure on myself to like do all the things, and I got to figure this out, and what's my next step? That's a very common pressure that we put on. Like, what are you going to do next? People love to ask that question. What are you going to do after this? After your trip, what are you going to do? And it's like, you know what, Sally, I don't know. And I think it's okay not to know. That is how I feel right now. I have no pressure on what I'm doing next in my life. Right now, I just know I'm in a season of really soaking up this time with Arlo, with this next baby. It is not lost on me how grateful I am to be in this opportunity. Even though I've had my own struggles with being a stay-at-home mom, I'm so grateful for this season. I know it's exactly where I need to be. But there's that little voice in the back of my head that's like, what are you going to do next, Lindsay? Are you going to go back to teaching? Are you going to podcast? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But putting pressure on it does not help. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me sad, and it takes me out of this beautiful season in my life. And that is the biggest travesty I see so many of us do, is we're putting so much pressure on what we should be doing, where we should be, that we're not enjoying all the beautiful things in our life, or we're like totally blocking out other ways that you can make abundance or find happiness. Like the other example I gave in the last time I recorded this podcast was abundance for me. And I was so like just sure that I had to come from this podcast. And then it came in another form of me watching Arlo's cousin, and I still get to be with Arlo. And it's so funny how sometimes when you release that pressure, it was literally like the day that I was like, I need to take a break from the podcast, and abundance came in a different form. Sometimes just releasing that pressure. And one of the best ways you can do that is with an exhale, but we'll talk about other ways we can do that. Almost immediately, or so soon after releasing that pressure, it shows up in a different way, or something totally different shows up that fills that need for you. But whatever that thing you're putting pressure on, maybe it's to be at a certain point in your career or to be in a certain point in life or to, make money from the certain thing, whatever the pressure you're putting on, can you feel that way that you think you're going to feel whenever you get that thing, accomplish that thing? Can you feel it now? This is a very common thing that I talk about on here, but it's so powerful. It helped me so much with this pregnancy and getting through fear and anxieties of just feeling the feelings that I wanted to feel now. In that example, it was the feelings of safety, that I know that this little girl is in my belly thriving and like she has everything she needs. Knowing that and feeling that now, and not waiting for like the external validation and not waiting for the next step. Can you do the same thing with the pressures in your life? Can you feel the way it would feel to find that perfect job or to find the mate or to find whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you're putting pressure on? Can you feel that way now? Because that's why we want the things, right? Because we think we'll feel a certain way once we get it. The beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing is we have autonomy over our feelings for the most part, right? Like we can consciously choose to feel those feelings right now. So if you haven't already, take a big exhale with me. Physically release that pressure from your body, from your awareness. Maybe take a few exhales. Maybe it's going and doing some yoga, because we know that that non-physical pressure that we put on ourselves can manifest into physical pressure in our body. And you can feel it, right? Like when you're putting pressure on yourself, it truly feels like a weight on your body, this big rock or suitcase or whatever it is that you're just carrying around. Like, can you set it down? Can you set it down? Can you exhale and just come back to the beautiful present moment, the beautiful moment that you have right here, because that is a gift. That is truly such a gift. All right. I don't know if I said all the things that I wanted to say that I said the last time I recorded this episode, but I'm just going to trust that I did. And I'm going to trust that this is the message that you needed in this time and space. As always, let me know in the comments or through Instagram, even though I'm not always on Instagram, what you think of this episode, what you think of this message. Did you need to hear this message? Is there something that you're really putting pressure on? Can you release that pressure even just a little bit? It doesn't have to be all the way. Because I know with me, a lot of these things take time, right? They take time to sink into my awareness. But bringing consciousness and awareness to these topics is so freaking powerful. So just think about what you've been putting so much pressure on in your life. And can you just exhale, release some of that pressure and feel the way you want to feel after you did that thing right now, because you can feel that way right now. So please subscribe if you are new here, or share this message with anyone that you think needs to hear this specific topic on pressure and releasing pressure. You can subscribe on any podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the ways. I'm so grateful every time that you do subscribe or share with someone else. That is just like such a beautiful and free way to support what I'm doing over here. And I'm so, so grateful for every single one of you that tune into these episodes. I say this a lot, but I go back and listen all the time. And it's like I recorded this podcast for myself. So I hope you guys are getting the same gifts, if not more gifts, from these episodes that I am. And I'm just very grateful to be on this journey with all of you. So sending you so much love, all the highest vibes. And of course, I'll see you in the next episode of Alignment Adventures.